It's a dope move.
Yeah. It's a big game. Who you know that got it behind the scenes like behind the O-line soon as the QB say hype? It's big game, big game. Analysis from the player's point of view. Injuries, big trades, player news. Yeah, sector competition, and he play with Tony Dungy. Better listen, I'm talking about Big Game Sports Buzz. Said everything you need and more. Yeah. Big Game Sports Buzz. I thought I told you once before. We call him Big Game James. Yeah, Big Game James. Big Game.
What's up, everybody? It's that time. That's right. Whoa, let's get this camera adjusted. There we go. It's that time of the week. It is time for Big Game Sports Buzz, where the sports fanatic and the pro athlete get together and talk about all things sports. I am Jay Stoggs, the Buff Nerd. Let's go. And of course, I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend. The reason why this podcast is called what it is, Big Game James. What up, dude?
Stoggs, what is good, dog? How's everything going for you, brother? Man, I'm good. I'm blessed and highly favored. And, you know, I've been on here talking sports for like the last hour, man. I get to do it again with my road dog, number one, the Buff Nerd. So, man, I'm ready, man. I'm ready, dog.
To say you busy, but that's good. That's good. Make sure that you check out Big Game James on all the stuff that he is doing. Make sure that you check us out on Amazon, TikTok, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, all your favorite viewing platforms and podcasting platforms. We are there. So check us out. Give us a like, subscribe, and of course, share with your friends, family, and your frenemies because, hey, without the hate, we don't elevate. Appreciate the like. Appreciate the thumbs up. And make sure you ring that bell as well so you know whenever we have great network stuff here on BGSE Network, you are sure to hear it. You have Two Birds, One Show, the Philly guys up there. Look, you know, they won, great, whatever. Let's keep it moving. And of course, Man Cave, Money Man Cave is there. And the Buff Nerd Podcast, which came on last night. How about that? Talking all nerd stuff. So we're definitely going to have some more content for you, but make sure you check us out here at BGSE Network. Without further ado, let's get into the four downs.
It's time for the four downs. That's right. The hottest sports news around. BGSB presents Four Downs.
That's right. These are the four downs that we here at Big Game Sports Buzz looks at and says, hey, you know what? Let's talk about these things. The first thing on the docket, first down, national championship, Notre Dame, the Golden Toppers, the Golden Domers, the Fighting Irish.
The Golden Toppers. I like it.
The Golden Toppers. That's what they call it. The Golden Toppers, the Golden Domers against the, what do we call them? The
Ohio State University.
Oh, yeah, Ohio State. Well, it's Ohio State, but I call
you have another name for them?
Yeah.
The Lab Dancers? Oh, that's Urban Meyer. My bad.
That's Urban Meyer. No, this is a fake beard. Fake beard day.
Damn. That's what we're doing to Ryan Day right now, man.
I mean, he's got a hittable face. I keep saying this. He just has such a hittable face.
Let me ask you something.
You want to punch him? What
did this dude do to you, man? What did Ryan Day do to you to make his face hittable and want to knock him out, bro?
Absolutely nothing. But if you look at him, you tell me, prove me wrong is what I always say. This is a guy that has a hittable face. But beyond that, does this game excite you? Are you excited to watch this game? Let's start there.
I am. First and foremost, both of these teams I did not think would be here in this championship game. So first and foremost, I have to tip my hat to both Ohio State and Notre Dame for making it to the championship game. The storyline is really cool. I like it. A lot of fans wanted to run Day out of Ohio State after falling to Michigan in that rivalry game, saying he hadn't been able to win the big one, hadn't won in the playoffs, all this other stuff. And this team has rallied around their coach, and they're playing with a purpose right now. And then Marcus Freeman, the Notre Dame coach, to look at him, his story. And so now it's starting to pop all up over social media. Like some of his early coaching days when he was like at Purdue, and he's barely older than some of the seniors. And
he's 38.
And to come in and to demand the respect that he had to have to be able to do this job, to do it the way he's done it. Seems to always take the high road when he's asked the difficult questions. And I never in a million years would have thought like, damn, man, I'm rooting for the Irish. Jay Stocks. I am rooting for Notre Dame to win.
Yeah.
Now, if you ask if I believe they can, this damn Ohio State defense and the way Will Howard is playing quarterback for them, he just does it the right way for this in these playoffs. It's going to be a tough game, man. I do think that Ohio State's going to win.
I think the Texas-Ohio State game showed some vulnerabilities in Ohio State. They dismantled Oregon, and it was like, ooh, if they keep playing like that, there's no one that can beat them. But I think the Texas game kind of showed that, hey, you know what? Okay, yeah, they got some really good young receivers over there on that side, but you can contain this offense. The defense, to your point, though, they stepped up in such a big way. They put the game out of reach. And I think a lot of it had to do with Quentin Ewers. He was just ineffective. But I have to tip my hat to that Ohio State defensive coordinator and defense. They did their job. They did exactly what they're supposed to do. And I think when you look at Notre Dame, they have a good quarterback. They always usually have a good running back, and they have a great defense as well. So I think this is going to be a really good matchup. I'm hoping for a good game. And yeah, I'm with you. I'm hoping that the Golden Domers pull it out. I hope they do. Will they?
It's let it be returned. But I mean, overall, Jay, going into this, we've talked about it in previous weeks because of when the tournament started. I'm calling it the tournament now like it's basketball. When the playoffs started to where they are now. Yeah. How happy are you with how this came out with the final two teams that are playing for the national championship?
You know what? I like it because it allows the teams to play the game. And so, you can bitch and complain and bemoan the fact that this team was ranked higher than this team and they shouldn't have. Look, ASU played Texas, and ASU played, they came in and they talked crap, and Texas put it on them. SMU got a chance. To me, hey, that was great, but they found out quickly what big boy ball is. And so they've gotten more recruits because of that. But I think I think the tournament, and I'll call it that, I think it's a great thing. I think what you saw, and I was vehemently opposed to 12 teams, but 12 is good. 12 is a good number.
You didn't think the 12th, you were opposed to it when I came up with the idea, man?
I was. I thought it should be 8. I think you should have, your conference champions, and at that time you have 5, the Power 5, and really it's Power 4, but you have your Power 5 and 3 at large for several reasons. Number one, your regular season has to count. Number two, wear and tear on these kids' body. And of course, head trauma, stuff like that. Yeah, I know.
Hey, can I say something though, real quick?
Yeah.
The way they getting paid NIL money, getting paid like pros. Shit, go ahead, give them games, man. You want to get paid? Play these games.
I hear you. And that's the thing that, and we're gonna have to talk about this NIL and collective and what that really means, because it's not what a lot of people think it is. But to your point, yes, they're getting paid. A lot of them are getting paid way more than rookies are getting paid in the league. So, yeah, but it's still, you're talking about 19, 20-year-old. Some of them are true freshmen, 18-year-old kids. Um, but yeah, I was opposed to it. Now, 12 teams, I'm good with it because
They
you
get it
get
right.
your SMUs in there. You
They
get your
get it right.
SMUs in
They get
there.
it
You
right.
get your, and the like. So yeah. And Alabama still didn't make it in, even though they cried and Miami cried, and they shouldn't have. They should not have been in there. Yeah, they shouldn't have been in there. Why?
They got it. It's
So
all
no,
good.
I'm good with it.
Cool, man. Yeah, man. Shout
So,
out, and hats off to Notre Dame and Ohio State for making it all the way to the championship game. Best of luck to all those people involved in that. Yeah, that Ohio State defense, man, they've been impressive. Notre Dame defense haven't been in any slouches either, and we'll see. I just think that I want it to be a good game. Please be a good game. Ohio State is right now favored by 8 points. Ohio State's an 8-point favorite, so
I might take that.
Let's see.
I might take that to cover.
Let's see.
You know what though? This is what I do believe. There needs to be a national holiday the day after the national championship and the day after the Super Bowl.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
Just make it a national holiday, because the reality is, after that day, whether you win or lose, involved or not, come on. Sharon, what's going on? Irish have a chance.
The Worm, what up, baby?
Sure, they have a chance. I'm not going to doubt Marcus Freeman and what they've done up to this point. I mean, they've defied all the odds, if you ask me. So
the health of their running back, I think, is going to be key. They're going to have to run that ball against Ohio State. If that can happen, I mean, hell, they made it to the championship game, Sherm. So I do believe that you can't just discredit Notre Dame, even though Ohio State is playing great. You know what I'm saying? They're playing great football right now. But like I said, the Irish have stepped up. A lot of people didn't think that Notre Dame would make it past the second round after they beat Indiana. Not if you weren't a real true Notre Dame Irish fan, you didn't. So I do believe the Irish have a chance. They got their mascot is a leprechaun and a 4-leaf clover. Hell yeah, they got a chance.
But here's though, again, and I'll go back to the Texas OU game. If you take away the strip fumble touchdown, the game is 14-21.
They still have to score.
And possibly it would have been 21-21. Right? But because they were driving.
A lot of people said that game was the national championship game. Texas was no slouch.
Exactly.
Texas was no slouch. So I mean,
and I think a lot of people still kind of are downing or discounting Notre Dame because of the NIU loss. And
that shit happens, bro.
I mean, it does. And yes, for sure. But what I think when you look at that and you say, okay, look at what they've done since. And I think that staff, they've been able to get their team in a position to do better every single week. Again, if Ohio State wins, I won't be upset. I won't be surprised if Notre Dame wins. Personally, I won't be surprised. I'll be happy for Marcus Freeman and his story. But no, I don't think so. I don't. I think they have a chance. Will they win? No. But I don't want it to be a blowout. That's what I don't want. I want a good game. I want a great game.
That part. Okay.
I want a great game. Moving on from college, let's move up the ranks to the pros. Last weekend was pretty much chalk. And if I'm not mistaken, and I don't like to do this, but I think I want to. I mean, I think I was pretty close. No, not close. I was 100% right on all my predictions of who was going to win last week. Any prospects in the championship game to help my Niners at the 11th pick? Who? You know what? We'll talk about that later when we start talking, get closer to the draft show, which we will do. We're going to go through a mock draft but we'll definitely talk about, especially after championship game and who's
Sherm,
declaring who's not.
y'all first got to find a defensive coordinator, which y'all never should have let Steve Wilkes go anyway. That was so dumb by Shanahan. That makes me question he and John. And like I said, I love John Lynch to death, and that's my old teammate. But to fire Steve Wilkes as your DC after what he was able to do and had the damn drop off that you had, yes, I had some injuries, but 49ers have made some dumb moves. So yeah, we're gonna talk about them when we get more to some of our draft shows and what they need to do, and let's see how them hires go. But they got some personnel people to replace in the front office and on that coaching staff, and we'll see how that goes then.
Yeah, too bad you can't get Saleh back. Oh well.
Who says you can't if you don't get a job? Nowhere else.
That's true. That's true. You may get Saleh back, and that I think that definitely can help you out. But let's get into this last week. Like I said, I told you who was going to win. Who won? So there you go. First one up. I'm trying to let you make it. Yo, make sure you check it out, Sherm. Bills, you know what? No, I don't want to do that one first. Chiefs, Texans. How do we feel here?
All right.
The Texans is favored by 8.
The Texans played better than I thought they would against the Chargers. Won the game. The defense has been pretty decent all year long. I'm really hoping they can beat the 49ers. I mean, excuse me, the Chiefs. I want the Texans to win. Do I see it really, really happening?
We'll talk about that. It's not here, Aaron.
It is gonna be here. We're gonna talk about it at the end of the way. After we made these picks.
Oh no, we're gonna talk about that, but it's not in this game.
Oh, this game. No, I want it to be, but I don't see it.
And can I just say for the record, the Chargers are who the Chargers are. I think it's time for us to go ahead and let Justin Herbert be what he is, not an elite or a great quarterback. We need to go ahead and just put that to bed, okay? Because I'm really tired of hearing it.
So Justin Herbert a fraud? He's a fraud. He's a mid. So he's mid as a quarterback. You're just saying that. He's one of those kids that boom.
He is at best a top, like he's 13 to me, maybe 12 in the league. I'm just not going to put him in a top. He's definitely not a top 5. It's hard for me to even think if he's top 10 based on a quarterback. If he's healthy and starting quarterback, do you put Justin Herbert in the top 10?
Someone say he doesn't have the receivers that he needs.
Oh gosh, jeez.
I said something, not me.
I know, and it's to them that I say that. But you know what? They would say that about Tom Brady. Now I'm not saying Justin Herbert is Tom Brady. I would never say that.
You could say that. We know better.
I would never say that.
You would lose all credibility if you ever said anything.
I get that, but I get that. But when you start looking at quarterbacks who have the QBR, the ratings, right, the yards, the touchdowns, and then on top of that, the wins. And unfortunately, and we've said this, we've talked about this, in the NFL, wins and losses go to the head coach, and then right after them, the quarterback. And that's where usually people stop. They don't talk about defense, even though that may be the main issue. They don't talk about offensive line being porous. They don't talk about not having a running game. They talk about the quarterback. And it's unfortunate. But with Justin Herbert, I think we can go ahead and just take him on out of that elite status.
Yeah, he had one shit to be elite. I agree with you on that. Nowhere near Justin Herbert's name should the word elite come out at all. He's got to win a playoff game or two and show that he can stay healthy and lead the Chargers to be to win their division first and foremost before you want to call him elite. Until he beats Patrick Mahomes twice a year and wins the division. Oh no, to the no. Nope.
So for me, I think the Chiefs will pull this out. I think it's going to be a close game, and for KC to be a -8. Ooh, this is one that I would definitely say, you know what? I don't think it's going to be that far.
You think it's going to be closer than 8?
I think it is. I think it is. I really do. let's hop over Lions Commanders. Lions all the way.
Don't laugh here.
Don't what?
Don't laugh at me here. What if Jaden Daniels upsets?
I gotta laugh at you because you say stuff like that. Are we serious right now? Come on.
I just said, what if, man?
What
Part
if?
of me wants to pick that game as an upset, but I really don't believe it. And I'm not lying.
You don't believe
I'm
that.
I'm pulling for the Lions in the NFC. That's the team I'm pulling for.
That. You don't believe that. Here's a game that let's move to the one that I think this is actually an upset. Eagles Rams. I would have, and I'm with you because we kind of talked about this before we got on. I think the Rams can upset the Eagles. I think they can. Lion. That's from The Wiz. Don't hit us. So yeah, I think this is the one. I'm just saying, you know.
I'm right there, but
if you haven't watched The Wiz, watch The Wiz.
He's on down the road.
Hey now. I think the Rams, what they showed us against the Vikings, and look, the Vikings showed up to be who we thought they were. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I think this. I've heard this, and not to get off of making this pick because I got something I'm going to add on to what you said just now. The Vikings got beat. The Rams played lights out. A lot of people tried to say Sam Darnold was the old Sam Darnold, but Sam Darnold was sacked 8 times. The Vikings offensive line did not show up. Aaron Jones couldn't run the ball. I still think that Sam Darnold has resurrected his career.
Mac Hurts pass, Rams got a good chance. Yeah, that's true. But here's the thing about it, though. That means you have to take Saquon Barkley out of the game.
And they can. Have you seen how the Rams defensive line played that game and how they've been? To me right now, the Rams have the best, youngest defensive line in the NFL right now.
In the NFL.
Ooh. Where they're playing. Well, yeah, I say NFL right now. The where they're playing now is a unit together. Surprising. I don't know if I say best defensive line, maybe best pass rush. Maybe it's better than me saying pass rush, not run stop. But I see them being able to put pressure on Jalen Hurts, like Aaron said, if you make him pass. The Rams are going to have to, the Eagles are going to have to rely heavily on Saquon. And if Jalen Hurts is going to beat you, he's going to have to be with his legs. If he has to drop back and throw the ball, the Rams are going to pin their ears back and pluck the feathers of the Eagles.
Yeah. And I hate to say sound cliche-ish, but I think it really is about containing Jalen Hurts, right? So keeping him in front of you, keep him in the box, because when he is not comfortable in the pocket, and it's with anyone, but he especially, I have found that if he can't see a lane and he can't see how to get out of there and throw it, it's a done deal. The offense now suffers totally. And if they get down early, and I think that's the big thing, the offense has got to go. They all gas, no brakes, which you definitely can have when you have that offense humming the way it is. Man, look, if they get up by 2 scores, 3 scores, now Jalen Hurts has to pass. He has to get the ball down the field. Yeah, that game's over. That game is over. Otherwise, if it's a close game, this might be the one. And the Eagles are 6.5.
Rams might get that. I agree with you on that.
Yeah. I agree with you. So this might be the one. If you're looking, this might be the one. Finally, Bills Ravens. This is like the game of the playoffs. A lot of people are actually saying that this is like the AFC Championship right here. Former MVPs facing each other. 2 really good offenses.
Did Josh Allen win an MVP before?
A potential MVP.
No, I'm not even trying to be funny or trying to correct you, Jay. I'm really asking because I was okay. Gotcha.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't. And for all intents and purposes, people are saying that he's going to win it this year.
What that little boy say on TikTok? A bullshit. Bullshit.
Hey, When they give him the award, he'll win it. Until then, not so much.
Right.
But yeah, this is a great game because again, you do have two of the stars of the NFL who are in the AFC playing each other right now. So the question is, if one loses,
Mm-hmm.
who does it hurt the most as far as quote unquote legacy? And they're both young. That's why I really hate this question. But
This has come up a couple of times, and you made me do a short on it. No, we did. We actually covered it just in general when it came to the MVP race.
yeah,
I still believe that, like I said in that previous episode, Josh Allen has no pressure on him because he did it with Diggs being gone and Gabe Davis being gone. They got Keon Coleman, the rookie wide receiver from Florida State.
Keon Coleman.
That probably came on a little bit later. They got
Yeah.
Amari Cooper late in the year. I don't even know if he's healthy back playing yet or not. I know he's been in and out of the lineup. So I believe that no pressure is there. I believe that there's a lot more pressure on Lamar Jackson to being the one that has to win this game. I just do. I just believe the way it's looked at. He's already a two-time MVP. He may win it again. And the question, if he does not get to the Super Bowl this year, the question is going to start floating around. Can you win the big game with Lamar Jackson? Is it a fair question? I don't know. But it's a question that's going to happen because of the position he plays and how high of regard and standard he's been held to. And they went out and got him a running back, the best in the league.
Yes, they did.
And so if they can't win now with Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson is, they're going to drop the weight of the world on his head, man.
I mean, it's, Zay Flowers is out, but Bateman has come on. His two tight ends are so good. Likely and I can't remember that kid's name. It's not Goddard, but man, look. And he has two good tight ends. He still has Bateman. He still has Derrick Henry, who can, carry the world on his shoulders, literally. He's showing all the receivers how to stiff arm. Because I'm gonna tell you what, that last game, it was a stiff arm clinic. I feel sorry for the Steelers defense, to be honest with you. As many stiff arms as they was getting. I mean, it looked like a gym in there, bro. As much as they was pressing people. Oh my God, it was pressure.
Hey, that grown man. That was a grown man, dog. Hey, he had grown men just catching. It was just like
stiff arm.
Hey,
you get a stiff arm,
especially you get the secondary. The guys in the back like thinking the dudes at the first two levels. Like, hey man, slow that fool down, dog. When he get back here, mush him up. Hey, he hit Minka Fitzpatrick and made it look like a video game, dog. It like he hit it with the you can.
I'm gonna tell you what, man, and I played. When I have played on the defensive side, and I know you've seen it, when you see the DBs doing like this to each other, man, what? Come on! And the other one just walking. It's no good. So for this one, this was actually Baltimore -1. That's how close this game is. I think. Oh gosh, if I had to choose one, man. My heart wants to go for the Ravens. My mind is saying is going for the Bills though, but I'm gonna go with my heart. Yeah, I'm telling you, sure, it's like handing them out like it was an Oprah show, like an Oprah Christmas show.
You get a stiff arm. You get a stiff arm. You get a stiff arm. Damn, Jay, you stupid. So
look under your seat. Look under your seat. Yep, that's a stiff arm right there.
You saying Bills, bro?
I'm gonna go with my heart, and I'm gonna go with the Ravens, man. And I know my mind is telling me Bills.
I'm cheering for Baltimore. I think right now I've got to pick them just because of the legs of Derrick Henry. And top of that, the defense is not playing horrible. Yes, like we said, Zay Flowers is out. He's been great, but I think they got other receivers that step up, and then not Mark, the tight end. Is that Mark Andrews? The tight end?
There's Andrews and Likely.
Yeah.
But Andrews.
But I mean, both
Yeah.
do right now.
Yeah.
Both of those guys. I gotta
Nice.
say, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, but like you said, so Shakir has come on, Coleman has come on. They still got a 1,000-yard rusher in Davis back there. So I mean, Buffalo is no slouch, and their defense is playing good as well. So this is going to be a great
Facts.
game.
Facts.
This is
It
a
should be a good one.
This is a 5:30 game. So yeah, this is going to be the one to watch, in my opinion. So yeah, that's it. Moving on. So at this point for the AFC Championship, we're talking Chiefs, and I say Bills. You say Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
For the NFC, Lions. I
And
say
Rams.
Rams. You say.
I said Rams. I think the Rams are going to upset the Eagles. I do. I really
Let's
do.
go. Let's go.
I
And then
think they can.
yeah, and then hey, cry Eagles cry. Everyone loves that. Everyone wins. It's a good day. Cry Eagles cry. Staying in NFL, third down. The carousel keeps on going. And of course, who has to make headlines? None other than the owner and GM, Jerry Jones. Who decided this week, you know what? I'll go ahead and let McCarthy go. Yep, went ahead and fired McCarthy. Now, why is that significant? Well, number one, he didn't want to do it beforehand on the Monday, on the Black Monday or Can Monday, right? So he wanted to do it on his own. The other thing is that it didn't allow other teams to start actually having interviews with McCarthy. So let's talk about those teams that do or that have hired or that are starting to interview. The first one that they've already hired, and we knew this was coming and they kept denying it. But Mike Vrabel is now the head guy in charge in New England. Are we surprised here? No. We knew what it was.
Nothing against Mike Vrabel. We talked about it last week when we knew his name was coming up the surface for that Patriots job. Pretty much knew it was going to happen. My whole thing is I wish they would have just hired him last year. They should have just hired him last year. Gerard Mayo got a bad deal. What it is. Everybody talks about the discipline, the structure, what Mike Vrabel is going to bring. And his tenure, like I said, at Tennessee, Mike Vrabel is only 5 games above 500. What makes Mike Vrabel this great disciplinarian, awesome coach that's going to just be the right fit to fix this Patriots team? And maybe he'll turn around and be a Dan. I think they're looking at him. They want him to be the Dan Campbell of the Patriots. Like they want him to do what Dan Campbell did in Detroit, which we laughed at Dan Campbell. I can't say we. Big game, James Canada, laughed my ass off at the Dan Campbell press conference talking about biting kneecaps and getting back up.
I love it.
I said this dude is not gonna make it. And goddamn it, he is. I tip my hat to him. He still go for it on 4th down way too many times for my liking.
Yeah.
But Dan Campbell, I give it
analytics.
Up, I give it up.
But you know what though? But here's the thing too that Dan Campbell did over the years is he hired the right people to put in the right places. Right. Because when he first started, he didn't have those people in place. Okay. But now that he's had them in for a couple of years, and now everyone is buying into their system, he's able to get the people that he wants and talk to his coaching staff to say, hey, look, this is who we need for this team. And I think he's actually been a lot better also as the head coach, right? The CEO of the team to say, hey, look, this is what I do. This is how I mitigate situations and whatnot. So I think what you've seen is the evolution of Dan Campbell to become a really good head coach. And you have a team that was young enough to buy into what he was doing. So I think, you have that part of it. Vrabel, I don't know. You know, that it's
and
a
I'm
young
not
team.
I'm not hating on Vrabel.
Yeah.
It's just,
no, I get that.
I don't know, bro.
It's Vrabel.
Good luck, bro. Good luck.
Yeah, he has history, whereas Dan Campbell didn't. He has history. And so, and a lot of times, as you know this in the NFL, it's a lot of retreads. It's
I
just a
think
lot
Dan
of
Campbell
people that.
played. Didn't Dan Campbell play for the Lions?
Yeah, he did. He did. So I mean, but when I talk about retreads, head coaching retreads. So you get fired
Oh
from
yeah,
one
yeah,
job.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes. My bad.
All
You got
right.
you. Yeah. You're right.
So just like with Mike McCarthy, who is now being interviewed and is on the short list for the Chicago Bears, right?
And New Orleans Saints, I think. Let
And
me
New
ask you
Orleans
this real quick
Saints.
about McCarthy, Jay. And
Yeah.
I said McCarthy sucks before, and I said he needed to
Mm-hmm.
go. But then
Yeah.
stopping to think and look at it and just seeing how the Cowboys are managed. And man, I love Troy Aikman and some of the stuff he said and came up with this week. And I'm working on a short for that right now to repost. But do we get a better idea of what Mike McCarthy does being away from Jerry? Because this is what I heard, and I don't want to jump too far ahead, but I got to tell you this and ask you this if you heard the same thing. I heard that Mike McCarthy was approached by Jerry Jones about bringing Jason Witten onto his staff as a tight end coach or whatever else, but also for him to be named the coach in waiting. So here it is. You got me wanting to. You're telling me I have who I need to hire, and you're basically telling me that I'm going to replace you, and this is going to be the guy to do it. So now I'm coaching to look over my shoulder. That's bullshit within itself if it's true. But this is some of the things I've heard, right? So do we actually get a better picture? Did Mike McCarthy just kind of say, you know what, man, fuck this, I'm out. I care less with Jerry Jones. I want out of here. Let me just get through this season. Now, I know you can't in the NFL, you can't necessarily interview for another job just by tanking the one you're on. But at some point in time, my brain is telling me Mike McCarthy is like, man, the hell with this dude, bro. I can't work with this jackass no more.
No, I don't think he tanked it for that point, but I do believe at the end of the season, he and his agent were putting pieces in place to say, look, whatever they came with, we don't care. We don't want it.
Wow. Okay.
Right. Because they had enough time. He still had time on the books. He had like 3 days or so before Jerry Jones just finally said, okay, enough's enough. Like they went in, they talked for reportedly like 3 or 4 hours. And after that point in time, that's when he came out and said, no, he's no longer with us. So you went from we're going to wait and we're going to talk this out and whatnot to nope, he's no longer with us. All in a matter of, a couple of days. Yeah. I don't think there was anything Jerry could have offered him that would have let him stay. I really don't. Yeah, he was ready to get out of this circus. I keep hearing he's a really good coach. And when you look at a lot of his numbers as compared to good coaches, he's pretty comparable. When you have 3, 12-5 seasons, you've won a division. Unfortunately, you can't get over the hump, though. So you can say that's Jerry. It's not when it came to that. Jerry did him no favors this offseason, though. None at all. And you can't operate in that, especially if you're saying, hey, everything I did, I'm a damn good GM. You can't say that with this type of offseason that you just had. You can't say that, Jerry. So, yeah, he's ready to go. Good luck to him. I don't know if he'll ever win it again. He's too old when it comes to how he's set for the NFL.
You mean Jerry?
He's not. No, Mike McCarthy.
Not necessarily. If he gets retread, if he put the right coaches around him, that's just like you look at guys like Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn that are about to get head coaching jobs from Detroit, young enough mind.
Sure.
And well, Aaron Glenn ain't really young. Hell, he older than me. He was in the league before I was, man. But
right. But he's innovative.
Right. But I'm saying, if McCarthy gets a job and can put the right DC and OC, don't do it yourself. Do not do it yourself. Find somebody who can do it. Manage the team. You have a harder time doing that without trying to do the play call. Manage the team. I think McCarthy can be fine. I just want to see if he gets hired again, what he does out of with the leash of Jerry Jones cut off of his neck.
You'll see it when he goes to Chicago or New Orleans. I'm pretty sure he'll get the Chicago job. From my understanding, Ben Johnson, if he decides to leave, if he decides From what I understand, he's actually wanting to go to Vegas. I don't know.
I know I wouldn't
but
go to. I wouldn't touch New Orleans with a 10-foot pole.
New Orleans is bad. It's a whole
Horrible.
It's a whole vibe. Yeah. But let's talk about. Let's see. So, you got Dallas, who's needing a coach. New York is still on the clock, looking for a coach. Who else is out there? Tennessee? No.
No. It was a
Jets.
Raiders.
I'm sorry.
Raiders,
Jets,
yeah.
Bears, Raiders, Saints, and Jaguars are still interviewing. And so this is, and we're going to talk about another person right here in our next down that quite possibly could be there. But looking at those teams and Doug Peterson, I would think he's going to get another coaching job, head coaching job.
He done had two, bro. It might be time for him to go hold the clipboard as a coordinator, bro.
I'm telling you, I think he's going to get something somewhere. It could be Jets, especially if Douche Dodgers is now saying he's going to wait on his decision, depending on the new head coach and GM.
Well, I think a new head coach and GM gonna make the decision for your boy Rodgers. He can say he's waiting, but we already know the right motherfucker. The right person interview for that job might be right. Hey man, you guys get to kick rocks, bro. We ain't dealing with you.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough one. Rex Ryan, I believe, pulled his name out of that consideration as well. So thank God for that. No one needed to see that play out in the media at all. With the Raiders, like I said, they're talking about possibly going after
Ben
Johnson. But here's a name though for the Cowboys that I've heard come up, or at least mentioned. It's very far-fetched. But I've heard that it's possible that John Gruden might have his name in the mix.
Really?
Won a Super Bowl.
I didn't think that one.
Just, he said that he wants to get
he
back.
He got credit for a Super Bowl with Coach Dungy's team. Let's make it.
Absolutely.
John Gruden
absolutely. Look,
yeah,
no one's going to argue that except for John Gruden and his family. That's it. Okay. But he still has it. He's a Jerry Jones kind of guy, if you know what I mean. Based on emails. So yeah, this it could be just a possibility that if you see that name out there, and you know what, it makes sense.
If everybody else is getting a chance to do stuff, John Gruden, get another chance. Hey, go ahead. Why not? It's whatever.
And Dallas is known for giving people second chances, a la Hardy. So, I mean, we've had a lot of retreads come through here. Hey. I don't see why not John Gruden. So, yeah.
Wow. All right, bro. Damn, boy.
What the hell?
Jesus Christ. Let's move. Let's go.
Let's get to fourth down. I always bring it to you, man. Look, fourth down. I mean, yeah, imagine Chucky a Cowboy. Sherm, imagine, no. Just imagine it.
Again. That never really crossed my mind, and I don't know why. I know it's been mentioned that he wanted to coach again, and his name just is not popped up for any job out there for me. Out of all the jobs out there, they won't have him back in Vegas. That wouldn't happen. Jacksonville doesn't seem to fit him. New York or Dallas, I think, would be the two places that he would have to go. Which I never thought of it. I never ever thought about John Gruden entertaining the Dallas Cowboys job, or that being a possibility. That you've got my intrigue on that one now, buddy.
So think about that. Like I said, it hasn't come out, but there have been some rumblings from some people I've tried to talk to and get in contact with, like, hey, I heard this. What do you think about that? And it's that same deal of, where'd you hear that from, or what? And I said, I'm just reading tea leaves and what Jerry says, and excuse me, what he continues to say about having a proven winner head his team up. And the only one that I can see that's out there is John Gruden. Realistically, he's not going to bring Belichick in.
Well, Belichick's already took a job in North Carolina. So
Right.
That's out. Belichick's
Yeah.
not. Yeah, that's out.
He doesn't want to get a first-time head coach. He's never done that. With the exception of
first-time head
Jason
coach.
Garrett. And see, but Jason Garrett was the coach in waiting type, deal that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And really he undercut Wade Phillips. And Kellen Moore was supposed to be the coach in waiting deal, who is now interviewing with the Dallas Cowboys along with Saleh as well. Their names have, and actually that's been confirmed. So yeah, why not?
I don't think Robert Saleh got a chance. I think
he's not going to get hired here.
That's a Rooney Rule interview.
Yeah, he's not going to get hired here. And again, he may get hired. He may have to go back as a DC, because I'm looking at these other teams and I don't see any other teams wanting to hire him, especially with a mid-season firing from the Jets. Going back to San Fran, make amends, do your thing. That's about it. 4th down. Speaking of the Cowboys, because we just can't get enough of them.
No, we can't, but we just seem to talk about them because their ass is always talked about. Jerry Jones, quit being a jackass. You're getting yourself talked about too much, and not a buff nerd make me talk about y'all's ass.
So now that we got that out,
I blame you. My apologies.
The latest in the circus is Deion. And yes, there have been talks, but now people are actually convinced that he is not just talking, he's interviewing for a possible position as head coach for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, as it was put to me, the question was by other people who know that I'm a diehard Cowboy fan. I said, no, this is a Rooney Rule kind of deal. And yeah, you have Saleh, he counts, but nah. Deion as a head coach in Dallas, I don't think so.
I don't think
I'm not seeing
Rooney Rule, Jay Stein. I don't. I believe Jerry
You
Jones
think this is legit?
Deion, Adam Shepard came out and said that he talked with Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
That Deion said Jerry called him and said that he had thought about him for the position and they would probably need to talk some more. Deion said it was very intriguing. What the hell he meant by that, what he wants to do. But I think Jerry has some serious considerations of wanting to talk to Deion Sanders. And I've always said I do not think that Deion's going to leave Colorado after doing the work that he's done in the recruiting class. Right. And I think he wants to prove to people, this is my opinion. I know several people on that staff, and I have not reached out to them to get no insider dirt or anything like that, but just my opinion from the previous conversations I've had with some people. Yeah. I believe that Deion wants to show that he can build a program and win without Travis and Shador there. And so I think that he wants to prove that he can build Colorado up. And I think he wants to stay there and do that. That's just my personal opinion.
I agree. I think he does want to do the exact same thing as you stated. The people that he's brought in to coach, to be on his staff, yeah. And one thing also he stated was, I don't follow my sons. My sons follow me. And so, for him to move to the NFL after Shador and Shiloh, I think he stays at Colorado to prove a point. He may be gone after that year, or maybe 2. He won't stay at Colorado, for 5 years, 10 years down the road. But he'll get that program up and running where they're consistently going to the bowls maybe for another year or 2. And then, yeah, he makes his leap. He makes his jump. But it has to be the right situation. But here's the other thing, too, that I thought about. And I heard someone say this, and it makes sense. This quite possibly could be the last head coach hire of Jerry Jones's,
Oh, shit. We're talking about the upper room again?
I'm just saying.
Wow.
He don't look good. He don't look good. So this might be the last one. And so it would be significant. It would be significant. There are reports that he actually reached out to Deion by himself. No one else was involved with this. His son, Stephen, Will McClay, nobody was involved with this. This was a solo flight, is what they're saying. So, Jerry making this decision, pretty significant, right? And so for him to choose Deion as his last coach, I don't know. That'd be something, but I don't see that. I could be wrong. It's rare, but I could be.
Okay. You and rare, really wrong. You know what that makes me say, Jay?
What does it make you say? Big game.
Oh, hell no. 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 Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no.
This is the part of the podcast where James is really rude to me by saying stuff that I say and say, oh, hell no, but that's okay. It don't hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying? Thicker than that. I'm good. What you got, man?
You definitely thicker than that. Pause. No Diddy. I'm sorry.
Thicker than a snicker.
Oh, shit. All right, man. We haven't had a chance to really talk about this since these rumors and things have come up. But it was rumored that Deshaun Watson, we all know that he got hurt again. He's going to miss next season. He has to have another surgery. Yes. But it's rumored that he was seen dancing on a TikTok video with his girlfriend, and he didn't have his boot on that he was supposed to have on. Ruptured his Achilles and needs to have surgery.
Yeah.
That within itself, I want to say, oh, hell no to him. Please be fake. And then also, if that is the case and it's true, he could avoid the $100 and something million that's still owed to him by the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson, you're a lot of things. And right now I'm beginning to think that smart is not one of them, if this is true.
Man,
between your fetishes and happy ending play and all this other stuff, and now you're dancing in a boot. Dancing on TikTok without your boot on. Oh, hell no. I pray so many different ways that this is not true, but part of me just believes that it is.
Have you ever been in a boot? Have you ever worn a boot?
Yes, I have.
Those things are hard to dance in, so I get it. I totally get it.
Oh,
sometimes
stop. No, stop.
When you have to do those TikTok dances, you can't really turn like you want to because you got that boot on, so you just got to take it off. He'd be all right. That doesn't mean he's not hurt.
That doesn't mean he's not hurt, but your grown ass ain't got no business doing no goddamn social media dance. TikTok need to fade to black so some of these athletes quit dancing all the goddamn time. Get your ass off the camera dancing. Go focus on your craft and lift some weights and do a push-up or some shit.
Oh, man, look, he got a whole nother year to do that. He'll be all right.
That's the hater in me right now. I'm hating. Your ass need to quit being trendy. Quit being trendy.
Well, hey, he's got a nice-looking girlfriend, and she wanted to dance, and he appeased her. So,
how did he meet her? It means nothing.
So
sorry.
Let's move on to. Man, I got nothing for that. Nothing at all. Look, so for my oh hell no, this has been played all over national media. But I had to ask Game, if you saw this, what would you say? AJ Brown apparently was reading a quote unquote self-help book during the game as they're sitting on the bench. 3 targets, 1 reception. I think he had 10 yards.
Maybe he was self-helping so he wouldn't slap the shit out of Jalen Hurts for not throwing in the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Man, look. I'm sure they got something on the surface he could have. He could have pulled out an iPad or something else and play like he was reading something or watching something else. Man, a book, and he says apparently he keeps his book on the sideline all the time. So that book is always there.
So stars, maybe what he was reading, they didn't have the e-version yet. Maybe they didn't have the Kindle. Or you know what I'm saying? Maybe he had to bring the paper copy to the sideline to get his motivation. You know, to each their own. Different guys get motivated different ways. In all my years of being around people that played football, seeing different things, I excuse my language, I ain't never, ever seen a brother reading on the sideline.
Reading on the sideline? On the sideline? Man, look, this was definitely an all hell no for me because there's gotta be, and you know what the all hell no really was that there was a coach standing in front of him while he was reading and said nothing. And that part, for me, that's why I just can't believe that they're ever going to win again, because that team and their leadership, dumpster fire. Man, straight dumpster fire.
I used to think it was weird. You know, I had teammates that would take a shower before we played the game. And I was like, you take a shower before you go get dirty? Man, what the hell? What? That was weird. But I'm trying to imagine what it looked like if we on the sideline and you like, yeah, man, I can't. I mean, we got to catch the ball. We got to do. Hey, you read? I can't imagine, bro. I just really can't imagine what that must have looked like.
Dude, you going through the last series, and the coach is telling you, "Hey, here's this block, or here's this key that we missed, or whatever the case may be," and you sitting over there.
Or break your route off at 9.
But you're like, that doesn't concern me because ain't nobody throwing to me, so I'm gonna just pop this book open real quick. Man, come on. What are we doing? Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no.
And that's why cry, Eagles, cry. Let's get into that last segment. You know what it is.
It's time for the top 5. Who's in, who's out, what's in, what's out. Big Game Sports Buzz, top 5.
That's right. Some people have a top 100. Some have a top 50. Some have a top 25. Some even punk out and have a top 10, but not here on Big Game Sports Buzz on BGSC Network. No. Top 5. Who's in, who's out, what's in, what's out. This week's top 5. Top 5 moments in college football championship games. Big Shirt. Man, what you read? I wouldn't even ask, sir. I wouldn't even ask, because then I'd be upset.
Self-help. I make sure it's the right thing, though. I mean, you can't tell me. I mean, I'm reading the Alex Cross series, so I heard it was good on Prime. I want to read the series.
Man. If he was reading one of those Nancy Drew or those what's that? Those romance novels
with Fabio on the cover,
bro, we got to fight.
What if he was like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
I hope you're not reading that. We're gonna have to fight if it's anything like that.
He was reading Dr. Seuss. All right, man.
Let's get into it.
Hey, man, there's some good moments in college football. You think back around the days and over time, and I know there's gonna be something in here I probably missed, but some great stuff. First and foremost, man, 2017. Speaking of Jalen Hurts earlier, Jalen Hurts was benched. Tua Tagovailoa was put in when they were trailing 13-0. Tua comes in, and I believe Alabama goes on to win 26-23 in the 2017 national championship.
Yes, sir.
My second one, Clemson, 2016. Deshaun Watson goes out, has a game for the ages. 2 late fourth quarter touchdowns, man. He leads Clemson over Alabama, and that was in 2016. This next one to me, man, and it's just not that they won or how they won. It's just the fact that LSU beat up on Clemson, and then at the end of the game, all these fools are sitting around the locker room smoking stogies, puffing on cigars. It was just something so boss and player about that whole moment to me. It's not even on the field no more. Joe Burrow made a name for himself in that game. You know, Chase and Jefferson at the wide receiver. I mean, dude, that LSU team was beyond amazing. But for them to puff on the cigars like they did,
I think Beckham was handing out cigars or something like that in the locker room, if I'm not mistaken.
I heard he let the hand out long round thing. Yeah. Oh. Anyway, next, man, last year's national championship game, Corum and Edwards, each from Michigan, each had over 100 yards rushing as they went on to beat the Washington Huskies in the national championship game and to give Jim Harbaugh his first national championship. But the way both of those guys touched the football and ran all over the Washington defense was amazing. And then my last one, I had to try to go back like the Buff nerd, but my friend the Buff nerd, and go back a little bit. 2006 Rose Bowl, Vince Young breaks out that long touchdown run. They beat USC. That was a game for the ages, and that was one hell of a play. And that's kind of like Vince Young's coming out party. So, man, those my top moments, bro, that I got from college football championship game.
That's what's up, Brandon. I'm gonna have to check this out. AFC South has more wins in this postseason than the NFC North and the AFC West combined. We'll have to see. We'll have to see about that one. Top 5, yeah. I agree with you that Alabama versus Georgia. 2018 was definitely one for the ages there. Miami versus Nebraska, 1984. Now, if you're not familiar with this game, go back and watch the 30 for 30, the U. This is where you see that Tom Osborne, instead of kicking the extra point that would have tied 31-31, they would have won in the AP poll. They would have been voted number 1. Instead, he said, nope, if we're going to win it, we're going to win it for real. They end up not getting the 2-point conversion. Miami wins. Therefore, hey, Miami goes on to their first of many national championships. 1987, Miami Penn State. Why is it significant? Miami decided to come to the game in Army fatigues.
Yes.
This was the fatigue game, right? The Army fatigue game, in which actually Penn State beat Miami 14-10. So, yeah, I had to go back a little bit because, that's what I am. Of course, I'm going to pick Texas versus USC.
Of course.
Hey.
I did too. Shit, it was a good game.
It was an awesome game if you go back and watch it. And there's actually, I believe, a 30 for 30 on that one as well.
Yeah.
Game back and forth. You had Heisman Trophy winners in this game playing, and it was all about, hey, Vince Young at that point. And then finally, Georgia routs TCU 65-7.
You want to remember that?
It has to be remembered. And
that's a good one, man. Yeah, Lord.
I'm going to tell you why. Because this game is the game that forever the committee will look at and say, we don't ever want to have another game like that again. And you will never have another game like that again. So, yeah, 65-7, Georgia over TCU. You'll never see that game again. Thank you. And there's definitely some honorable mentions there, but we're not going to do that because that's not how we do top 5. Listen, I'm Jay Stoggs.
So you said it that time, not me. I just want you to remember that. Remember that shit. Remember that. You're not, but you better remember that.
I'm not. There we go. And make sure that you, again, like, subscribe, share, ring the bell so you know when we come on, as well as other podcasts. You can always chat with us. Hit us in the comments and we'll comment back. Thank you so much for joining in. Don't forget the other podcasts that are on the network. Big game.
Hey, man, it's your boy Big Game James for the Buff Nerd J Stocks. Thank you for stopping by. And until next time, God bless you and peace.
Who you know that got it behind the scenes like behind the O-line soon as the QB say hype. It's big game, big game. Analysis from the player's point of view. Injuries, big trades, player news. Yeah.